Well, hi, everybody. It's so nice to be back. This is Coach Rati of Creative Calling Coaching. I was away last week writing my book, and I am back in the trenches coaching that as of today. I do these live streams twice a week, as most of you probably know, at 5 o'clock, and I talk about different issues. So today I thought I would discuss um, the common myths around ADHD. A lot of the people I coach have ADHD, not all of them. A lot of the artists and creatives I coach have ADHD, not all of them. That's a myth that all people who are creative have ADHD. Um, well, a lot of people who are creative are divergent thinkers, but that in and of itself, tangentially being reminded and free associating, that in and of itself is not uh, necessarily uh, a problem for people or ADHD. And that leads me to another myth that ADHD is always a disability or a problem. Many people love their ADHD, it's a superpower. Another myth, people with ADHD can't stay focused on anything. Au contraire, because here's the thing, ADHD is a challenge of interest. People with ADHD have a really hard time focusing on boring stuff, okay? More than the average person. When something is interesting, people with ADHD have a capacity to hyperfocus and go deep like no one else. In fact, so many of the great scientists and artists of history are alleged to have ADHD brain wiring. I think Steve Jobs among them, Albert Einstein. So it is not an indication that you're stupid. Another myth of having ADHD. Stupid, lazy, that's another one. Uh, Again, interest is key. Turning the ignition of the brain for someone with an ADHD has to do with finding the interest in something. And if it's not inherent in the task, making it interesting, maybe making a game out of it. So let me see. Oh, yeah, the other thing is that the name itself, ADHD, the most recent version of the DSM, I think it's the DSM 5, pretty much puts it all under that term, ADHD. The fact is, there are three subsets of adult ADHD and children's ADHD, but the first one is hyperactive. Bouncing from one thing to the next, physical restlessness, all of that. The second type of ADHD is inattentive, people who daydream. A lot of girls go undiagnosed with ADHD because they have the inattentive type. A lot of people, a lot of adults, it's not a hyper active thing at all. And the final subset would be a combination of the two. Some people have really racy brain, or I know for me, when I start getting into a project, it's very hard for me to stop. I think there's a little hyper mania thing that goes on with that. But if I'm just my ordinary self and having to tend to things that aren't a big deal or whatever, I'm not bouncing off the wall. So I hope I have debunked some of the common myths. Uh, I forgot to say at the beginning of our little broadcast, I'm a little rusty. Please remember to share the video, like the video, subscribe on YouTube, because I'm always coming up with new things to talk about. And I also welcome questions. And if there's something in particular, topic wise, you'd like me to focus on, I would be happy to. So, the other thing I didn't mention was you'll see that there's a link in the description for this video. And that is a link to apply for a strategy session with me. I find that people with ADHD, with or without, many times, but often with ADHD, work really well in small groups. And I don't often do this, but I'm on June 18th. Group coaching is in no way the ugly stepsister of private coaching. It is a whole other entity unto itself. And I would say that it even has some benefits private coaching doesn't have. First of all, you have community in group coaching. Uh, Second of all, you see yourself in other people. The time I spend with you on an issue in the group could be very beneficial, but you could learn just by listening to what other people are going through and have breakthroughs just from hearing what's going on with them that you wouldn't have anticipated. Uh, and the third thing is, of course, it's cost effective. If you've been wanting to experience coaching, but the idea of hiring a private coach is just a little overwhelming fiscally, this is a great option. And I do extend myself on a more personal level. People who are in my groups are free to email me in between, and I often will answer questions that way and do some coaching through the internet that way. So if you think you'd like to investigate, it's called the Passion to Profit Project. And again, it starts on June 18th, and it's a 3-month commitment, 9 sessions, 3 sessions a month on Fridays at noon Eastern Time. So I hope you'll register for a conversation with me at the link above, and we'll see if it's a good fit for you. I'll see you again on Thursday. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.